All right, welcome back. This is Wake Up Sierra Leone here on AYV Television. We're broadcasting on 101.7 FM. In Sierra Leone, it's channel 33, and on DSTV, it's channel 399. We encourage you to be a part of the program. Join our Facebook Live broadcast on AYV News Facebook page. Drop a comment and we'll factor that into the program.
Right, in our first segment this morning, the All People's Congress Party for the past few weeks has been calling, some members of the party has been calling on the chairperson of the interim committee to resign, Alfred Peter Conteh. And there are allegations of incitement, disunity, and Alfred hijacking the party. So this morning, to respond to some of these concerns, we have Alfred Peter Conteh with us in the studio. Alfred, good morning and welcome to Wake Up Sierra Leone.
Good morning and thank you for having me.
Let's start off, Alfred. The party appears to be more chaotic now, even than when you were actually calling for sanity and calling for things to be democratized within the party, and then you took the party to court. So what is happening? Those things you were calling for, I mean, they appear to be more bold now in the party. What's the problem?
Well, I think few things happened in the past few weeks. One of them being the move. We're shifting and shaking things to move the party towards democratization. And it is something that is not welcomed to the others. Now, I want people to understand the APC is still one solid body, and the Interim Transition Governance Committee is one body. There's no two separate Itgc, so only one.
But it does not appear that way. Alfred Peter Conteh's faction would come out to the public, and there is the Abdul Kargbo's faction coming out to the public with different messages contravening each other. So it appears there are two sets of APC members already.
Yes, so my situation, we had a lawsuit, we had 4 defendants, and the ruling came out in which all 4 defendants are supposed to come together, basically, in one way or the other. So the plaintiff, the guy that won the case, has no option but to work with the people he defeated. So now we have a committee of 21, 12 of which are former executive members. These are the people that we defeated in the case. So now coming together is difficult. They don't want to accept. I believe there's every effort, enough evidence to show that their intention is to ensure the Itgc fails. And we have said no to that.
When you say, forgive me, when you say those you took to court and defeated, is it a case of us versus them in the party at the moment?
In the party, yes. We have we have what I call the Some People Congress. People that are in the APC because they believe in certain individuals.
Right.
Then you have people in the APC that believed in the party. And then you have people in the APC that just want to have a jolly moment and have everything going right. So the fight, the struggle, is between the people that believe in certain individuals. The meeting you're saying, the call for me to leave, you can look at the I table. You'll see the people sitting there. These are the people that are resisting. These are the people that are always violent. These are the people that are issuing death threats. These are the people that are going out in public and issue, terrible things.
They are members of the APC.
They are members of the APC.
And you say your push has been for democracy within the party. Is it that agenda you're pushing that they're resisting? Not the you per se, but the agenda of democracy within the party?
The agenda of democracy is what they're pushing, they're kicking against. Prior to me taking over, there was mass printing of cards. They've printed all these fake cards. They manipulated the party's register. So they've done everything to ensure that should we go to elections, they say, since you want democracy, we're going to print cards only for people that are going to vote for us. So there are thousands of people that applied, never received their cards. We're talking of years. And then the people that they want, the people that they believe in, the people that they know are going to vote for them, were the only people that were receiving APC cards. So they've spent billions of leones in printing cards. Now those cards...
What are the day in this context?
The day at the defunct executive, the previous administration. So they've done everything possible to rig the democracy. But we came in, we put our case to the PPRC, and the case to the PPRC accepted the fact that the party is registered. It's not credible. So therefore we have to go and re-register. At the same time, we have to do verification of the existing register. So that's the fight.
The confusion is, why would the membership put up a resistance against democracy when, if you go back to just after the 2018 elections, there are members of the party who blamed the loss on APC to the fact that even the process of getting the flag bearer was not democratic. So why would now that membership put up a resistance to democracy when there are some of those people who say it is because of the absence of democracy that they lost the 2018 elections?
So again, I take you to the high table. These are all the people that were benefiting from the selection. So it's not the entire APC. I want people to know. I call them the silent majority. They're sitting out there. They're looking at me, they're looking at you, they're looking at them. When those people come out, people will know that there's another side of APC that welcomes democracy. And soon they will come out.
When you say come out, in what specific context? Like expelling them from the party, or come out in what sense?
No, they will come out and show that we're in support of what this man is doing. We're in support of democracy. We're in support of having a level playing field to allow anybody in Sierra Leone, as long as you're 18 years old and you're willing to join the All People's Congress Party, you're free to join the party.
Why would there be allegations against you that you're sent by the APC main rival, the SLPP, to destabilize the APC and, disenfranchise the party ahead of the 2023 elections? Why are there such allegations against you?
So those are the allegations they're using to fuel or mislead the people. Those allegations are always coming when they know they can't win the argument. It's simple. Come up with credible debates. Let's talk about it. I'm willing anytime. So anytime they lose the argument, they go out to incite the people that this guy is an agent of the SLPP.
Let's get to talk about the specific allegations against Alfred Peter Conteh. So first off, you've been accused of being a dictator, unilaterally making decisions, and we've seen evidently that Alfred will sign a press release, Honorable Abdul Kargbo will sign another, countering each other, contradicting each other. So if you talk about your quest is to democratize the APC. Now, why are you being accused of being a dictator and unilaterally making decisions in the committee?
Well, being a dictator and unilaterally making decisions is in fact a crime. We have a court order that won't allow me to make a unilateral decision, especially when it has to do with executing those court orders. So every decision that I've made that has to do with executing those court orders have been something that we held a meeting. We will go into those meetings, we would deliberate, people would talk, people will give counter positions. At the end of the day, somebody will move a motion, somebody second the motion, we put it to vote, and they vote for it. So everything that I have done, we have evidence of meeting and minutes. So it's easy. I feel sometimes, I wonder how it's easy for somebody to just lie like that. Those are lies. That's all I'm trying to say. I've never done anything unilateral.
Those meetings you're referring to, the allegation is that, Alfred has members of the committee that the court ordered for him to bring in as a chairman. And when Alfred wants to meet, Alfred calls his faction, his guys, his allies, or political stooges, should I put it. And those meetings are called when Parliament is sitting. So the other guys would not be present in those meetings. And evidently, when Alfred calls with his own guys, they form a quorum. So whether or not these MPs are there, let's wait, we call meeting when they have sittings in Parliament and they're not available. That's the allegation here.
So those allegations also are false. We've called meetings when Parliament is sitting, and they will attend. They've attended numerous meetings when Parliament is sitting. And to say we can't do anything as a party because the parliamentarians are not around, that also is not something we're willing to accept. So this is what's going on. If Parliament is sitting, let's assume, and we call the meeting, if those parliamentarians, all 8 of them, decided not to come, we have 4 members that's supposed to come. So we should have at least 13 people, provided everybody else have the luxury of coming to the meeting. Now, when that happens, you can understand, okay, we have a committee, we have 13 people, they can voice their opinion. You can ask anybody that I brought into my into the ITGC. I've never prepped them to go in and vote for anything or any particular. Nobody will tell me or will tell you he told me to do this. They have freedom. So at the end of the day, you call a meeting, you're expecting to see 21 people, and then you go in, they're doing what they call a boycott. So all 12 of them will refuse to come. There is a press release to the effect, a letter that we wrote, an open letter to the leader of the opposition in Parliament, basically echoing the behavior of the parliamentarians, because we've called 9 meetings and they've boycotted all 9 meetings.
Your agenda initially is to imbibe democracy into the party, but you seem to be failing.
No. Actually, like I said, if you listen to the noise, that's what the picture they're trying to paint. As I speak to you today, we've started training people that are going to conduct the registration process. It started on Monday. We've done, I think, 7 districts as I speak. And we're working towards training people. Next week, Monday, the APC will start officially to re-register and verify the old register, and have in 20 days time from Monday, we'll finish all the registration. We'll have a new set of register that has the level of credibility that we're looking at. And after that, we're going to go into elections. It's going to happen. They're fighting so that don't happen. They're doing everything. And they have some support from some government institutions.
There you keep referring to, you've not been able to come up with names. And on the part of those who accuse you, they're bold enough to mention your name as the key problem in the party right now. But you keep saying they, and who are the they specifically?
Well, it's 12 people that are holding us back. The judge, in his wisdom, has dealt with the APC for some time. In this final judgment that he gave, he appointed 1 position in the APC, the chairman. That's it. Because he knew the last time he gave a ruling, he appointed a secretary, and the secretary didn't do well. In fact, things came out to the point where the outgone Secretary General was found guilty of contempt, which is a criminal offense. You understand? So this time around, the judge said, I am going to have only a chairman. So we sat down in the committee. We said, all right, let's create standing committees. These standing committees, that's where we created the secretariat. It's made up of 5 people. And we created the publicity, we created organizing, we created the finance committee. These are all sets of people. But the only committee that is going after or against everything we're doing, the committee that the defunct executive is using to throw spanners into the works of the ITGC, became the secretariat. So we looked at it, we said, okay, we held a meeting again, a legitimate meeting. We said people came up with different proposals, that the behavior of the Honorable Abdul Kargbo is just unacceptable. His behavior is maladministration. Nobody has ever seen that type of behavior, where the chairman will ask you to put out a press release, you will refuse, and then once the chairman does it, you will go on, because I am the head of each of those standing committee, because I'm a member of each of them. So that's what's going on. They came up with a resolution after the meeting, and in that resolution, the ITGC decided that the Honorable Abdul Kargbo is no longer secretary of the committee and is no longer part of the secretariat because of this thing you're talking about.
And with all the infight within the party, well, the one after the election, after 2018, the court sessions back and forth, and back where you're at right now as a political party, it seems it's just an easy wave for the SLPP to retain the presidency in 2023 elections.
It seems. I like the word "it seems," but it is not going to happen. Like I told you, we'll do what it takes.
But how successful would it be? A house that cannot hold itself together, a destabilized and disorganized house, not in unity. How do you go then into a battle?
So, like I said, we're working towards it. By the end of next week, I'll probably come again and tell you that the APC registered this much people already, and we're on track.
Are you heading to fail the next election, to lose the election woefully?
No, the next election we're going to win, and there's not going to be a runoff. I want you to take that to the bank.
Let me take you back quickly just to the allegations. You've removed Honorable Abdul Kargbo as a secretary of the committee, which again boils down to some major allegations that, these Honorable Abdul Kargbo's faction is just standing in the way of Alfred Peter Conteh's scheme. And the scheme here is Alfred Peter Conteh is conniving, is conspiring with Chief Samuel Samsumana to give him the leadership of the party. And Samsumana is said to be your biggest benefactor, putting monies in your pocket. How true?
It's all false. Let me just explain that.
Go ahead.
In the ruling that the judge gave, he said prior to the NDC, which is the National Delegates Conference, he wants the ITGC to resolve all unresolved membership disputes in accordance to Article 10 of the APC Constitution. So all we did was do what the judge wanted. We came out with a statement resolving all unresolved membership issue. Now it's a resolution. And in putting a resolution that has a history, what do? You have to do citation. So we cited instances where the former vice president and member of this party was reinstated. It was reinstated after we lost the first rounds of the election. At that time, the Honorable Alpha Khan was the publicity secretary of the APC. He stood at the party's office and he made the pronouncements welcoming Chief Alhaji Samsumana back into the APC. The former vice president, Victor Fo, was on TV welcoming the former Vice President Chief Alhaji Samsumana back into the APC. And after that, they held a NAC meeting. Now, I want you to know a non-APC member will not attend the NAC meeting. So Chief Alhaji Samsumana was invited. He attended a NAC meeting. He walked into the meeting. He got a standing ovation. They talked. He stayed in the meeting. Did
he attend that meeting as a member of NAC or invited by NAC?
Invited by NAC as a member of the APC. You cannot go there if you're not APC. So he was already reinstated. So we use his situation as a citation. Citation. So that's all. But we gave a blanket. It's not amnesty. Everybody that was illegally, because we know most of these people that were removed from the APC were not removed legally. They were removed because somebody said, I have the power to do so, I'm doing so.
That unconditional acceptance of Chief Alhaji Samuel Samsumana into the APC. I mean, with all the public statements you've mentioned that were made by APC stalwarts, some APC stalwarts, it goes back to after the elections, Chief Alhaji Samuel Samsumana, in a letter written to the APC Secretariat, requested to join the APC again. And then we saw a reply from the Secretariat saying it's only the highest body that expelled Chief Samuel Samsumana that has the authority to reinstate him, and that highest body has not met. So how come did this committee give an unequivocal reinstatement to Chief Alhaji Samuel Samsumana with those letters in the public domain?
It's a beautiful question. Now, I want us to understand what we did.
Go ahead.
We reinstated everybody. It wasn't just Chief Alhaji Samsumana. Everybody. Everybody that was aggrieved, like what you said, based on what the previous administration did. So we reinstated everybody unconditionally. And speaking to you, this is the highest decision-making body of the APC currently. So waiting for another highest decision-making body, that's up to them, as far as I'm concerned.
But does the committee have the authority to reinstate anyone?
The committee does. The judge gave us the power in the ruling, paragraph 9010, that this committee governs the overall affairs of the APC up until the NDC, which is the National Delegates Conference.
That reinstatement is apparently what has brought about contestations in the APC now. Because for many, in fact, Alfred Peter Conteh has received 100 million from Chief Alhaji Samuel Samsumana. He has received 80 million, and these are monies which, I mean, people said, Alfred, you have received from Chief Alhaji Samuel Samsumana as your benefactor, so you're doing all you can to give him the ticket of the APC for the 2023 elections.
So let's put those monies into perspective.
Go ahead.
We walked in on the 13th of May. That's when we took over. On the 26th of June, unprecedented elections. We're talking of 6 by-elections. Okay? We walked in, the coffers of the APC was laughable, let's put it this way. Okay? We called a meeting of stakeholders at the party office. All of us, 21 of us, were present. And we put the case that we need money. The initial budget for what we need to run 6 by-elections was around 2-point-something billion leones. So we put the case forward to them.
And the party did not have that?
Not near. So we put that case in front of them. All of them were there. All the so-called flag bearers, former flag bearer, aspirants, and all that. And Chief Alhaji Samsumana was there too. So he stood up and said, I'm going to pledge 100 million leones towards this project. After that, few other people pledged 5 million and little, whatever they can. The next day, he came with the money and handed it over to the APC Itgc, not me. And I have a ledger distribution of the monies. So it's not like I took the money and kept it, no. We gave it to the finance committee. The finance committee took a ledger. I'm going to make that public to put all this to rest. And the finance committee disbursed the money. Honorable Aaron, you're in charge of Tonkolili. That's where constituency 056. He signed next to the money he received. So that's the 100 million. Then we came to another big event, which was the National Voters Registration Drive. we were supposed to have 1,000, I think, 815 agents times 2. You multiply it by 2 because it's 2 agents per registration center. And you have to give them incentive. You have to pay them. We did an estimate. That was supposed to be 3.5 billion. We put the message out that the party needs money. Chief Alhaji Samsumana came and gave 80 million towards that. And that also, we have the way the money was spent. So that's the 100 and the 80.
Alfred, continue to stay with us. We'll come back to continue this conversation. It's 8:46. We'll go on a quick commercial break and we'll come back to continue the conversation. Stay with us and keep your comments coming through on our Facebook page, AYV News. All right, welcome back and thank you very much for staying with us through that break. This is Wake Up Sierra Leone here on AYV Television and Radio. Your comments will be read in a moment, but we still have Alfred Peter Conteh with us in the studio and we're discussing issues of his stewardship within the APC interim leadership. You mentioned that Chief Samsumana has been giving that money to sort of support the activities of the party. But is he the only financial contributor towards the expenses of the committee?
No, he's not. There are others. But the question is they're using his contribution to finding the divide. The reality is he's the highest contributor if you're looking to put things in perspective. So the time for the by-elections, after we received 100 million from it, when you combined everybody else's, it's around 100 and maybe 20 or 30 million. So if one person puts something like 45%, you know, so he's been the highest contributor. Like I was saying with the national voters registration, we needed 3-point-something billion. We ended up getting 115,500,000.
If he is not the only financial contributor, why single out his contribution and make an issue out of it?
So this is what happened. After we lost the election in 2018, most of the aspirants that aspired to become flag bearer started campaigning. And even the former flag bearer started campaigning. So they've campaigned for over 4 years. And now we have a court ruling that says, we want you to bring everybody that was here before, or whatever, resolve whatever membership issues you have. And we did that. Now by doing that, people are just afraid that he's gonna come, he's gonna run to become president. We're dealing with membership issues. Whatever comes after is not our concern. Our concern is the judge told us, we want you to resolve all unresolved membership issues. And we've done that.
And speaking of resolving membership issues, what's the level of support or cooperation given to the interim committee by Alpha Khan?
Well, Alpha Khan is basically out there, you know, and...
Is he still a member of the APC?
Well, according to him, he's still a member of the APC.
According to the party?
No, according to Alpha Khan.
No, but according to the party, is he a member of the party?
Oh yeah, he is a member of the party.
Okay. And what level of support has he been given the committee?
Well, he hasn't been visible, or he hasn't shown, he hasn't given any level of support per se. So he's out there, but he hasn't evolved into the committee.
Let me quickly ask this question before we take some messages, Alfred. The PPR, I read a letter from the PPRC that the Commission is concerned that even the court order, I mean, the party does not seem to be going with the court order, and so they invited even, I think, elders of the party and some state actors to a meeting so they can help to redeem the APC. First off, how did the committee receive that particular statement from the PPRC?
Well, any effort to bring peace is welcomed by the committee. Any effort. It's unfortunate, in my estimation and other people's estimation, the PPRC has been part and parcel, if not the problem, in this particular committee. The judge...
Do you consider the PPRC to be part of the problems?
Yes.
Go ahead.
This is why. We have a committee known as the ITGC. When the PPRC want to deal with the ITGC, even in their directives for the lower level elections, they were taking 2 submissions. When they write to us, they write 2 letters, one to the chairman and one to the secretary. And everything they came up with is something that just will find a divide. So I had a meeting on Monday with the PPRC chairman, and I told him to his face, I said, you're the problem. You cannot treat the ITGC as 2 separate entities. We're one. In fact, a newspaper came in and said the PPRC is conniving with the sacked Secretary General. I tweeted that also, just so people will understand. So the fight, the problem we're having is mainly people are looking at this and they say, oh, let's see how we can make them, let's see how we can divide them further.
And speaking of that, on the phone now, we've been joined by Honorable Abdul Kargbo. His name has come up in the conversation. Honorable, good morning. Are you there?
Yes, good morning.
So the interim chairman has alleged that you are, sort of, to summarize, have been
a tool.
You've been put aside for insubordination. What do you say for yourself?
Of course, he knows that he does not have the authority, he does not have the moral standing, he does not have the audacity. The ruling is explicitly clear. Go to paragraph 90.10.6, the judge deliberately stated that because of unity, decisions of the ITGC shall be by simple majority. Ask him how many people he sat with that agreed to remove me as secretary of the committee. He does not have the number, and you cannot take decision when you don't have the number. One thing he is feeling and he's thinking is that he is an executive chairman of the All People's Congress, which is not true. You know, he is just the head of ITGC, and ITGC is a committee instituted by the court to run the affairs of the party. So the powers the executive chairman would have in the APC, he does not have, because any decision the committee should make should be by simple majority, which he does not command. You know, he has performed to the extent that there are some people whom he appointed that have seen that he is not working to the progress, towards the progress of the party, and they have deliberately disassociated themselves from him. So now he has only 7 people in the committee, and 7 people in the committee can't run the committee. It is at variance with what is stated in the ruling of Justice Fisher.
Sorry, Honorable Abdul Kargbo, would come to look at, you know, the legality of the powers upon him to do that. But let's look at the allegations he made against you, that insubordination, when you're asked to put out a press release, you refuse to do that. Why has there been that hostility where you refuse to take instructions from the chairman?
Again, I am not to take instructions from the chairman. Let's go again to the ruling. The ruling says decisions of the ITGC shall be by simple majority. So I am obliged to take instructions from simple majority than the chairman. The chairman does not instruct or control the operations of the ITGC. The operations of the ITGC are deliberately as couched in the ruling of Justice Fisher are to be dictated by simple majority. So the chairman can't go at variance with simple majority, and you expect me to go by the chairman as if a special power has been given to the chairman. The ruling is very instructive, the ruling is very clear, the ruling is very simple to understand, that decisions of ITGC shall be by simple majority.
And what constitutes the simple majority?
Say again?
What constitutes the simple majority?
In a committee of 21, the simple majority is 11. That is also in the advisory note sent to the committee by PPRC. You know, the number is clear. The committee is a committee of 21. So simple majority of 21 is 11.
Honorable Abdul Kargbo, are you banking on the wordings you've cited from the judgment? Are you banking on that to disrupt the progress or the leadership of Alfred Peter Conteh? To say, I mean, in other words, are you fighting the war of the vacated executive members of the APC?
No, let me make this clear. I am fighting against unconstitutionality in the APC. I am fighting against dictatorship in the APC. I am being very, very compliant with the rule of the court and the constitution of the party. Let me tell you where Alfred and I fell apart. Yeah? Alfred knew. In fact, when somebody called me to pay attention to the interview. And where I met is where he was reading the judge's ruling on resolved membership. Alfred didn't read the complete paragraph 90, 10.4. He selected the first limit, which is a deliberate attempt to pervert the ruling of the judge. Let me read everything. In the first limit, that is what he read. The judge said we should resolve unresolved membership issues prior to the National Delegate Conference, pursuant to Article 10. Article 10 is dealing with new enrollment, is dealing with new registration. So if you have never been part of the All People's Congress and you attempted to be part of the All People's Congress, but there was problem along the line, your membership issue was not resolved, then the Itgc is obliged to do that prior to the National Delegate Conference. But let me read the second link, which is very clear. The judge said in his ruling, you can go to paragraph 90.10.4. He said, for those membership issues that need to be resolved at the National Delegate Conference, especially in pursuant to Article 13 F and G, should be included in the agenda for the National Delegate Conference. Let me tell you what Article 13 F and G says. In fact, Article 13 in entirety is dealing with forfeiture of membership, suspension, expulsion, and the article is very interesting. G is saying, F is saying, if you have been suspended, if you have forfeited your membership, if you have resigned from the party, if you have been expelled from the party, the only competent body that should admit you into the party is the National Delegate Conference. That is why, in his wisdom, Justice Fisher stated that it should be included in the National Delegate Conference. And let me tell you, all of us want Chief Samsumana to come back to the APC, because with that number we cannot win the elections. But again, we cannot attract litigation. We cannot create the opportunity
Honorable Abdul
to take the party to court. Let me just land, please.
Honorable Abdul Kargbo, is this a fight between Chief Alhaji Samuel Samsumana and Dr. Samura Marti Wilson Kamara, using the faces of Alfred Peter Conteh and Honorable Abdul Kargbo?
No. Let me make it clear. We have had more than 6 meetings to 7 meetings where we have invited most of the flag bearers to the Itgc. We didn't invite Dr. Samura Kamara. Alfred will tell you that we have sat with more than 6 or 7 flag bearers, and Dr. Samura Kamara was not invited to that meeting. We have sat in a meeting with the Big Six on several countless occasions. Dr. Samura was not invited to that meeting. They just want to create a picture, an imaginary picture. We have been very, 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 very much unbiased. You understand? But let me tell you what is happening. Alfred thinks he has the audacity to go against the ruling of Justice Fisher. He has the audacity to go against the advisory note of the PPRC. He has the audacity to go against the Sierra Leone police. And he has been doing it with impunity. Nothing has resulted. You see? And let me tell you, he has shown clearly how can you forge a receipt. How can you forge a receipt for Chief Samsumana, and backdated it to 2016, from 2016 to 2022, when he knew that Chief Samsumana contested 40-40 in 2018. And let me tell you, Samuel, please, let me tell you, Alfred took this party to court because some people went against the constitution of the party. And at the end of the day, we had to spend 4 years in court. And at the end of the day, the judge ruled against the party.
Honorable Abdul Kargbo. Honorable Abdul Kargbo, Alfred Peter Conteh has submitted here this morning that they've called about 9 meetings and you guys have not shown up.
That is
you, the members of parliament, you've not shown up. You've held the committee to ransom and they can no longer wait for you. So in other words, you're not treating the committee with seriousness. You feel and operate like you own the APC, and that is killing the progress of the APC. Is that anything to go by?
That is fallacious. I expect the truth to come out from Alfred as he seated there. You know, that is fallacious. That is malicious. They have never summoned 9 meetings. It's a big lie. It's a big lie. And let me tell you how we normally summon meetings in the 21-man committee. It is myself, the secretary, who sends the meeting notice to every member of the committee. That is how it has been happening since we formed the 21-man, since we constituted the 21-man committee. So who can call meetings in the 21-man committee? It's the secretary. So if I don't call meetings, who else has the power to call meetings? And I have called meetings countlessly. I have sent the notice to the chairman, I have sent the notice to other members, and they have deliberately refused to attend these meetings. But in the past they were attending meetings summoned by me.
So are you saying, Honorable, just quickly out of curiosity, are you saying you've also been calling for meetings, but the chairman and his people have not been attending, and he also have been and his people have been calling meetings, you've not been attending? So there is a clear line of division here that you have 2 ITGC running the APC?
No, not two. We have only 1 ITGC, and the decisions of that 1 ITGC should be by simple majority. The meeting I called was attended by 14 members of the committee. 14 members. Ask him, as he seated there, how many people attended this meeting. If you are not well constituted, you don't have the right to take decisions on behalf of the ITGC. If you are not well constituted, you don't have the finesse to take any actions on behalf of the ITGC. Alfred, APC was not handed over to you. APC was not handed over to you. APC is an organized political party. You are just the head of ITGC. You are not to run APC as you do in your family. APC is not your family where you tell your kids, go and stand there, go and sit there, go and do this. And we have been tolerating it for quite a while.
Honorable Abdul Kargbo, just quickly, who would you want to be the flag bearer of the APC?
Anybody who wins in the National Delegate Conference. That is why we want to create a level playing field. We don't want to go against the Constitution. Let me tell you the intention of Alfred. He wants to go against the Constitution by illegally reinstating Chief Samsumana so that other flag bearers will take the party to court, and the party will not have the right to contest in the 2023 election. We have stood our ground. We have said nobody will go against this Constitution, and the decisions of ITCC are going to be by simple majority.
If you are accusing Alfred Peter Conteh of being a sellout, Alfred has also submitted here that, I mean, you people are being financed by some state institutions, Honorable Abdul Kargbo. So in essence, he's saying you have sold the party out to the ruling class and fanning the disunity. I mean, that deep-rooted feud is becoming bold because you've taken monies from the state to kill the party.
Again, you see, the Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. You know, he has collected money from people, and he is under obligation to satisfy those people. You cannot collect more than 200 to 300 million from a flag bearer, and you have promised the flag bearer that you will reinstate him as against the Constitution, as against the ruling of the judge, and you have not succeeded in doing that. You think you can force your way in doing that. You have all seen in the open that monies have been given to him for which he has not accounted, and he is so insistent, he is so dictatorial, he is so disrespectful of Constitution, of state institutions. When we went to PPRC, he spoke to the chairman with arrogance, and that is the man that is seated before you. You cannot blame for democracy when you yourself is not democratic. So we are not going to allow any further dictatorship in the party.
Honorable Abdul Kargbo, what's your biggest issue with Alfred Peter Conteh, and what would it take? And what would it take for yourself and the entire ITGC to work together in the interest of the party?
Now, our biggest problem with him is that he thinks he has all the right to take decisions on behalf of the party because he is chairing the ITGC. even though the judge in his ruling said decisions of the ITGC will be by simple majority. And he has been using the ITGC for his personal aggrandizement. You couldn't believe it that as Mr. Conteh wrote a letter for financial assistance to all the embassies in Sierra Leone, it did not inform the committee. He went there surreptitiously with the intention that they will give him the money so that he will keep the money for his own personal aggrandizement. Mr. Conteh collected money from various people. Up to now, he has not accounted for a dime in the money that he collected. He is using the party for his own personal aggrandizement, and he will not kill the party some of us have suffered from. He was nowhere. He was nowhere to be seen. Most of us who suffered for this party, who were in university, killing ourselves for this party, never knew him. He was imposed on the party.
Honorable Abdul Kargbo, what would you consider? Because I mean, you, the members of parliament, are very integral components within the governance structure of the APC. Alfred Peter Conteh, as chairman of the ITGC, is very integral in that structure of the APC. What would you consider to be the reformatory way forward in ensuring that this bad blood you both are showcasing, are displaying or exhibiting to the public, I mean, is coiled down and puts the interest of the APC above your individual interest and sentiments?
It is because of the interest of the APC that we are against anybody who wants to go against the constitution of the party, thereby attracting litigation against the party. It is for the interest of the APC. It is for the interest of the APC that we don't want to go against the ruling of Justice Fisher so that the party will not be held responsible. It is for the interest of the APC that we want everything to be done accordingly, and we don't want dictatorship again in the party. So all that we have been doing is for the interest of the APC and not for the personal interest of Alfred Peter Conteh. He does not seek the interest of the party. That is why he is against some of us when we have stood our ground to ensuring that we don't do anything that will attract litigation against the party. If anybody takes this party to court, there is every proclivity that this party may not run in 2023 election. So Alfred Peter Conteh alone would not, in any uncertain terms, do anything that will warrant this party to be sued again.
All right. We have to round off the conversation, Honorable, but we'd have to pause here. Would definitely create more platforms to have this conversation had. But Alfred, just quickly, Honorable Abdul Kargbo has also accused you of forgery, that you forged receipts to just, comfortably situate Sam Sumana within the APC. You backdated the receipt. He's also accusing you of misappropriation and corruption. And these are grave allegations, for a leader.
So thank you for that, and I think it's good he was allowed to say whatever he said. I need to make a few things clear.
Go ahead.
Number one, I did not backdate the receipt. I think what he meant to say was we allowed the man to pay his backlog dues. That's what it was. But the date on the receipt is the exact day that he made the payment. Okay? You know, I need to laugh. It's funny.
But who has the mandate to issue receipts? Is it the chairman or the secretary?
I didn't know. The head of the finance committee.
Okay, when payment is made.
Yes, it's the finance committee. So that receipt was issued by the head of the finance committee. Now let's go to all this noise, and let me use this opportunity to put it to rest. The former vice president's situation in the APC is different from anybody else. The letter that you referred to, when he writes the letter to the now defunct executive that he's looking to come back, we were under the 1995 APC constitution. Now we're under a different constitution, which is the 2022 constitution, the constitution that reformers fought for to exclude every selection and certain issues in it. Now, in this new constitution, prior to the situation we're in, the Secretary General back then wrote a letter to Chief Sam Sumana saying, you've been reinstated to the APC reinstate. So him paying all the money that he's talking about, he paid from 2016 when he was kicked out to date. So that's the thing.
Reinstated, but subject to the approval of the National Delegates Conference in that very letter.
That's based on the 1995 Constitution.
Yes, but it was stated in that letter.
Yes. Now we look at the 2022 Constitution. In the 2022 Constitution, there is no room, there is nothing here that mentioned the word reinstate. In this Constitution, it says readmit. So if somebody is coming back from expulsion, that he just said expulsion and all these false things that they were doing, and want to come after, then he's coming back to be readmitted, meaning everything is done, his tenureship is coming to a fresh start. He's readmitted, okay? These people, they told him he's been reinstated. And the word reinstated is not something that came out lightly. It came from the lawsuit. I want them to read. They don't read. It came from a lawsuit with ECOWAS that he won. And in that judgment that they gave, they said he must be reinstated in his political party. So that's why the man that hates him the most, that even made
Was it in his political party or as vice president? That statement from the ECOWAS, the judgment.
The vice president thing, that's another section.
The reinstatement from the decision of the ECOWAS.
Yes, from to the political.
Go ahead.
So that's why they use the word reinstatement. So when you use the word reinstatement, the judge said, yes, when you go to convention, this particular Article 13, F and G should be included in the agenda for those people that fits this particular category. He's not one of them. He was reinstated, and there's no reinstatement here. And even in this, it's not like you are forced to do it. And when you write a constitution, you don't use the word may. May means it's optional. They said he may apply and do this and do that. It's may, it's not must. So the whole argument about this man, he's been reinstated, you reinstated him, and now he's in. So we don't have anything about that. Now let's go to the allegation
of misappropriation, corruption, and soliciting funds secretly, surreptitiously in his words, to the embassies.
I've never solicited funds to embassies. I've never signed a letter that I'm aware of to any embassy soliciting funds. If he had the evidence, he would be all over the world right now. So those are just part of the allegations that makes me bite my lip sometime and say, wow. But you can tell he's angry and all that. Let me tell you, he spoke about simple majority, okay? The ruling says decisions, underline the word decisions, by the ITGC, is by simple majority. Sierra Leone, we just completed voters registration, correct? So let me say ECSL came out with 3.5 million registered voters. On the day of decision making, 2023, I see it there, decide 2023, right? On that day of decision making, if out of the 3.5 million registered voters, only 1.2 million shows up, or 1.5 million people shows up to vote, are you going to tell me their decision is not going to be counted?
But it's not the same in this context.
It is the same. The judge did not say it's you should have 11. He said decisions, and decisions are taken in meetings, right? You take decision in a meeting. You don't take decision as, we've never been in a meeting after the first few meetings.
He clearly spoke about the simple majority being that it's 21 people, it would have to be 11.
Now, it's simple majority of people in a meeting, participating in a meeting and ready to vote. Okay. If you're not in the meeting, you can't say simple majority of 11. If we say, the judge never said that. And again, in the APC Constitution, Article 21F, it says meetings in the APC is 1/3. 1/3 forms a quorum. So if we have 21 people, 1/3 of 21 is 7.
And also he's made other allegations about the issues that you took the party to court for. You're now found guilty of those issues.
Well, he wasn't able to put them into perspective, because what issues did I take the party to court for? I took the party to court because they did not follow the Constitution. And I have followed the Constitution. He's talking of Constitution. I'm quoting Constitution here. Everything we've done, the simple majority, the judge never defined it. So what did we do as law-abiding citizens of this country? I said, you know what? How do we hold meeting? Because they're not coming to the meetings. We went to the APC Constitution. We look at what you call meetings. In the meetings, we have 3 sets of meetings. Emergency meetings is 2/3. Convention, the National Delegates Conference, is 50% plus 1. Regular meetings, which is what we're having, is 1/3, is what forms a quorum. So 1/3 of 21 is 7. So if we call a meeting and they boycotted the meeting, we sat in that meeting, we took decision that will affect them, they have no way out but to accept it.
Alfred,
it is legal and we're going to go by it.
As we round off, how inclusive can the IGTC be? You mentioned that you've called meetings, you invited flag bearers. Honorable Abdul is saying, oh wait, they did not invite Dr. Samura Kamara. So it's becoming very apparent that the fight is between Sam Sumana and Samura Kamara in the APC, and Sam Sumana using the face of Alfred, and Dr. Samura Kamara using the face of Abdul Kargbo. And so what's the way forward?
Let me address that, then I answer your question.
Go ahead.
They held a meeting wherein they were calling for my death, they were calling for all these things. And who was in the meeting? He said they never invited him. It was Dr. Samura, Usman Fode Yansane, a guy from McKinney who was the regional chairman for the North, Ali Komona. They came in and they've been regrouping. They've been trying to do something. And it's not like they're going to use democracy, they're going to disrupt and use violence. Those are the 2 things. And I'm using this opportunity to alert securities. That's why we wrote them. We wrote the police that moving forward, we wrote the ONS as well. Any meeting in the APC must be approved because we know what led to
in the
us
premises, you mean? In the headquarters or anywhere?
Anywhere, because we know what led to this government accusing our party as a terrorist party. So we don't want to repeat the same. Okay. But since in the past 6 or 7 weeks, we've noticed the police has been, you know, they gave us a letter one day saying these 2 meetings are cancelled. But they went ahead and just walked by the police and went in and held a meeting. One of them is the meeting where I told you Dr. Samura was there. It was just them, the same sets of people trying to shake things again. But the reality now, you speak of, you ask about the way forward. The way forward. The way forward is there's one ITGC, there's one chairman, court-appointed chairman. I saw a tweet from the Honorable Abdul Kargbo that they've replaced me, and they met, I think they held a meeting, they've appointed a new chairman, something Dumbuya, you know, SBB Dumbuya. And that is in itself a contempt.
Who have you appointed as secretary to the committee?
Well, because of the behavior, we don't want to take chance. We have a secretariat, a committee, and then as time goes on, we'll say you do this and you do that.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, we cannot run through your messages because the messages are for and against, and we would not want to create a platform here. But, I mean, you can actually go through the messages. We have hundreds of them. But thank you very much, Alfred Peter Conteh. It's been a pleasure having you here. Thank you very much to Honorable Abdul Kargbo, who spoke to us online.